Oil-choked heat of Kuwait, 1991. The Persian Gulf War is at its peak. Captain Bennet Marco, played with a simmering, quiet intensity, leads a reconnaissance patrol into the dark. Beside him is Sergeant Raymond Shaw, the aloof, socially awkward son of a political dynasty. Suddenly, the world explodes. An ambush. Tracer fire rips through the night. In the chaos, Marco is knocked unconscious. When he wakes up, the story has already been written. Raymond Shaw is a hero. He single-handedly saved the unit, held off the enemy, and led his men to safety. For this, Shaw is awarded the Medal of Honor. But we see that heroism has a cost that isn't paid in blood, but in sanity. Major Ben Marco is now a man living in the shadows of his own mind. He gives the same canned speech about Shaw's bravery to Boy Scout troops in military functions, but his eyes tell a different story. He is twitchy, caffeinated, and haunted. Every night, he returns to a lonely apartment filled with the hum of a flickering television and the crushing weight of nightmares he can't explain. He sees the desert, yes, but he also sees a sterile, fluorescent-lit room. He sees his men sitting in a circle like mindless dolls. He sees a man with a clinical, terrifyingly calm voice, Dr. Atticus Noel. The engagement deepens when Marco is approached by a former squad mate, Al Melvin. Melvin is a wreck, a man vibrating with the same frequency of terror as Marco. He shows Marco a notebook, hundreds of pages of frantic, obsessive drawings of the same sterile room, the same doctor, and the same terrifying realization: the rescue never happened. "I have these dreams, sir," Melvin says, his voice cracking, "and in the dreams, it isn't like the medals. In the dreams, we were taken. This is the first crack in the porcelain." Marco realizes that his memories are not his own, they are a script installed by someone else. While Marco is falling apart, Raymond Shaw is falling into power. We shift to the polished, high-definition world of American politics. Raymond Shaw, at chilling, robotic precision, is a congressman being fast-tracked for the vice presidency. But he isn't the one driving the car. The person at the wheel is his mother, Senator Eleanor Prentice Shaw. She is a woman who treats politics like a blood sport and her son like a prize thoroughfare. She doesn't just want him to win, she believes he is entitled to rule. The horror of from the psychological to the systemic. We learn about Manchurian Global, a massive private equity firm, estate within a state that has been funding the Shaws for decades. In 2004, the enemy isn't an ideology, it's a corporation. They have replaced the Red Menace with the Green Menace. They don't want to destroy America, they want to own it, patent it, and manage its outcomes. They have invested billions into deep implant behavior modification. Marco's investigation becomes a frantic race against his own deteriorating mind. He finds a small, metallic lump under his skin. In one of the movie's most visceral, stomach-churning scenes, he uses a pocket knife to dig into his own flesh in a public bathroom. He pulls out a tiny, high-tech RFID chip. It is a physical manifestation of the conspiracy. It is the leash. This isn't just brainwashing, it's biological hacking. Marco realizes that every member of his unit has one of these governors in their brain or body, allowing Manchurian Global to update their memories and behaviors like a software patch. Marco tries to confront Raymond, but he finds a man who is just as much a victim as he is. Raymond is a hollowed-out shell. He has no real friends, no real life, and a memory that feels like a Polaroid that never quite develops. Senator Tom Jordan, Jocelyn's father, begins to suspect the truth. He confronts Eleanor about the Manchurian Global connection. Eleanor doesn't argue, she simply activates her son. In a sequence that is both heartbreaking and horrifying, Raymond is commanded to kill Tom Jordan. But the cruelty doesn't stop there. He is also commanded to kill Jocelyn, the only woman he ever loved. Raymond carries out the task with the mechanical efficiency of a machine. He drowns them in a lake, his face a mask of cold indifference. When he wakes up later, he is told they died in a tragic accident. He mourns them with a grief that is technically real but fundamentally hollow. This is the ultimate violation. The corporation has stolen his ability to even own his own tragedy. They have turned his hands into weapons and his heart into a void. As the election night nears, the stakes reach a fever pitch. The plan is revealed. Marco is the backup. He has been programmed to be the shooter on election night. The goal is to assassinate the president-elect, allowing Raymond to become the president by default. Manchurian Global will finally have their man in the Oval Office. The tension is unbearable. Marco is fighting a civil war inside his own skull, trying to claw back his free will before his finger pulls the trigger. It is a brutal, desperate attempt to reclaim his soul. Red, white, and blue confetti falls like snow. The music is triumphant, masking the impending slaughter. Marco is in the rafters, a sniper rifle in his hands. His eye is on the scope. The conditioning is screaming at him to fire. Down on the stage, Raymond Shaw looks up. In a final, miraculous surge of humanity, Raymond manages to fight through the static of his programming. He sees Marco. He understands what is about to happen. Instead of moving away, Raymond maneuvers his mother, Eleanor, into the line of fire. He hugs her close, an embrace that is both a goodbye and a death sentence. He gives Marco the signal. He chooses this. One shot. Two targets. The bullet passes through Eleanor and into Raymond. The puppet and the puppeteer fall together. In the aftermath, the truth is buried by the FBI and the deep state to prevent a national panic. They frame a lone gunman, a Manchurian global contractor, to keep the system's reputation intact. Ben Marco is a man who knows the truth in a world built on lies. He looks at a photo of his old unit, the Lost Patrol, and drops Shaw's Medal of Honor into the waves. He is free of the chip, but he is a ghost of the man he used to be. The narration concludes on this chilling note. The war in the desert ended decades ago, but the war for the human mind is just beginning. In a world of high-tech surveillance and corporate dominance, we are all, in some way, being programmed. The question is, who is holding your remote?